Podcast with your host, Adrian Hatcher. This is the podcast where the game of life never stops. We're back with an episode, and this episode is going to be very entertaining in my opinion. It's about a discussion that me and Candacie have been having since we started ANC movie reviews, and it's mainly about the movie industry and the negative and positive impact that streaming has had on movies. With that being said, if you want to support the podcast, please follow us on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Also, on the YouTube channel, you can like, comment, and subscribe in order to see what we have coming up and things that we want to do with the channel. Once again, thank you for listening, and let's get into this discussion. So, movies kind of suck, but movies have also been very good lately. It's kind of a mixed bag. So me and Candacie, we've seen a lot of movies in the past at least month or so. We really dived into making a concerted effort to really enjoy ourselves in the movies, since we got the ability to go see movies more and more. And with that being said, when we go to see a movie, we really want to have a good time, because this is like our time to ourselves, our time to lay back and not think about the world. That's what movies do. The theater experience has always been something that we both bonded on. Going to the theater, getting popcorn, getting a drink, and just sitting back, relaxing, and letting this world encapsulate you is amazing. But lately, movies haven't hit that hard. Sometimes we go into the theater and we are so invested to the point where there's nothing we want to talk about more than the movie. And sometimes we go into these movies now and we just feel deflated. We feel like it was a waste of time. We feel like the movie did nothing in order for us to really get the enjoyment that we so dearly wanted for those hour or two. This has been happening lately, and I don't know how far back our movie experience has really changed much. I really feel like when we first really started bonding over movies is around that Marvel Universe amount of movies where, they were still doing the initial phase and they were getting into making them the Marvel Avengers team and adding different ecosystems and different galaxies to it. I think that's when we really started seeing more movies together. And during that time, streaming has also happened. Things such as Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, or Max now. These entities have taken over the way and the amount of time needed to go see a movie. And what I mean by that is, as humans, our attention spans are only on certain things for a certain period of time. With that being said, I can go on Netflix any day, click on a movie I've never seen or heard of, or even if I've heard of it, I'm giving it a chance. And I may get this level of enjoyment that I usually would get from the theater experience, but I can get it in the same amount of time, and I can get it on my own time. So I can watch it today, pause it, go do work, or just do anything, and then come back the next day and finish it. And I'll still get that same level of enjoyment. Same thing with Hulu and HBO Max. Also, the quality of the movies and TV shows that are on streaming right now, it's the same quality that you usually could only get if you went and spent money to go to the theater to see big blockbusters or these movies that have been hyped and advertising has hit through the wall. You remember when you go to the movies and they say the best movie of the year 2022, hilarious, action-packed. You won't want to go see another movie other than this. Like, you remember when the trailer guy does that? So usually when you go to the movies, all that is just built into your whole experience. But lately, for the last few years, any movie that you can see at the theater, you can now see it on your screen at any point. And movies are now being transferred so fast. Like, honestly, if you have a Disney Plus subscription, and this is no lie, I'm pretty sure people understand this. If you have a Disney Plus subscription, the movie that you saw a month or two ago can now be on Disney Plus in that amount of time. So really, You could wait. If you had the patience, you could get the same experience on your own time and with less money if you really want to think about it. And I think that's changed the way people view movies now. Now, that's more of like a negative impact. But from the positive standpoint, like I said, people live busy lives. You want to see movies on your own time, if we're being honest. And if it flops, you may not feel as bad because, oh, I gave it a chance, but I didn't have to go out of my way to make sure this movie wasn't my cup of tea. And if it hits, then you know that with the streaming and like Netflix, Hulu, and those entities, they can see how the consumer is enjoying it, and they'll keep pumping it out. And they'll pump it out so much faster than any movie theater can now. The movie industry has changed to a point where I don't think it can catch up. I truly don't think that out of and here's the thing, I don't know the exact numbers, but let's give a example right here. Let's say 50 movies come out in 1 year. In 2024, 50 movies come out, right? For those 50 movies, if we're being honest, not every single person is going to see all 50 movies. We pick and choose because we have certain interests and certain things that we love. In this example, let's say I love horror movies, and 8 out of the 50 movies coming out in 2024 are horror movies. I'll make more of an effort to spend my money and go see those horror movies than I ever would if I didn't have the money or the resources. I'll make the concerted effort to go see those movies as long as the trailer hooks me. There's so many factors. The trailer has to hook me, has to be at the right time. I have to have the money. I have to want to be in that type of experience. Some people don't enjoy horror movies. Candacie doesn't enjoy horror movies, so I know Candacie ain't coming with me. That's another factor. All these play into seeing a movie before you even get to the movie. But on the flip side, with Netflix, man, I click that joint on, immediately I get to see this horror movie. And this horror movie may flop, and I can just pause it, go to the next one, and go to the next one. It rewires the way you enjoy things now. You feel like it's at such an abundance, you don't need to go that extra mile. And I truly think that is what has changed the movie industry. That is why certain movies have not hit the same, because the people who are creating these movies are trying to create movies that have the same impact as a Netflix movie or more of an impact. There's more pressure. There's more things that have to go right in order for you to enjoy that movie more than any other random Netflix or Hulu movie that you see, because the quality has been advanced. And even if the quality hasn't been advanced, the time it takes for those same movies to hit streaming is very short. So that's the way I view majority of the negative impact on what's going on with movies. Why me and Candacie, when we go to a movie now, we no longer have the same standard that we may have used to have. At least I don't. Candacie may be totally different. She may hop and make an episode, and she may tell you a whole different opinion on why the movie industry sucks right now, or why out of every 5 movies we see, only one of them we really enjoy. Other than that, I can't really tell you. I don't have all the information. I don't know. Can you contribute it to the acting? Yes, of course you can. You can contribute some of it to the acting. You can contribute majority of it to the plot. I truly feel like these directors of today are doing their absolute best to give you an engaging story and twists that you have not seen before. But that is so much harder when you don't have to put the same amount of effort and investment. It's truly an investment. You going to the movies is you investing in the idea that that director has sold to you to this point. And if it hits, it hits. And if it doesn't, you may not ever see a movie from this director again. Another example I'll give. I think everybody pretty much knows Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is known to direct very heartwarming or heart-pounding inducing movies, on an Inception, Batman, Interstellar. These movies are truly like blockbusters, or with the Christopher Nolan name attached to it, you know the experience you're going to get from this movie, and you like, oh my God, this director knows what I want in a movie. I want some action, I want some drama, I want intensity, I want emotion from these characters, I want character development. You get that. So when they say directed by, or they say produced by Christopher Nolan, immediately your brain goes to, this is a movie I need to make time. So when you do that, you're invested. Even if the trailer doesn't hit, Christopher Nolan's name saves you and makes you still want to see it, just in case, because we also know that Christopher Nolan makes movies that sometimes people aren't really feeling because it's kind of confusing. You know, he'll make a movie here and there where you're like, oh, that was a little convoluted, and you reached your hand out just a little too far for me, and I don't think you can grab my attention back. But nevertheless, the masses, the majority of people are still going to see this movie. So what do we do about this situation where we no longer have the capacity to wait on a movie? And even if we do wait on a movie, if it flops, we no longer have the capacity to say, like, I'm going to give it another chance from a different director, because the movie industry is no longer controlled by the theater. Everything is instant now. So what do you do about this? What is something that I feel you can do in order to remedy this? Doesn't need to be remedied. In my opinion, I don't think so. Here's the thing. Competition is always what brings the best out of people. And with competition, you truly understand whether or not something is good or bad, because you're getting top quality, because they want your money, they want your attention, they want your time. I think streaming, even though it has a negative impact on the theater experience, you, the consumer, are getting more bang for your buck. So it doesn't affect you. It doesn't really hurt you. It's not something you're gonna lose sleep over. And that's good for us. But as somebody who still loves the theater, loves taking that investment to go get popcorn, get a drink, sit down in a recliner, and take my mind off the world for the next 2 hours on a big screen, on an IMAX screen, what do we do to keep that going? And the only thing we can do at this point is to continue to support the things we love that much, such as being more open to trying new things, to going to the movie more than ever. You need people to truly want to check out any movie that comes out to increase their palate. Being selective is killing the movie industry. Being selective is keeping theaters from thriving the way they used to. Now, that's not our problem, but it could potentially be our problem if you really enjoy that. So like I said, what do? You open your palate. You give other things a chance. I'm not big on a movie that's all about love, but I may go see a movie all about love. A lot of crying, a lot of emotion, a lot of kissing, a lot of making up, a lot of eye soul searching. But you know what? I may give the movie more of a chance because I want to see if I can have an impact. This competition that we have now, directors have to step it up because their jobs could be on the line or their opportunities could be on the line. They have to truly have a good idea now, a truly good idea, because whether Netflix has a good idea or not, that movie is getting pumped out. And if it don't work, they throw it to the side and put something in its place, and it keeps our attention. and the cycle continues until eventually we get to a point where we no longer have to go to the movies to get that experience. They'll create something in the form of instant entertainment where we can still stay in our home and I can get that movie industry, that theater experience right from home. I can get the popcorn, the drink, the big screen, and I don't have to move or I don't have to go the extra mile anymore. And if that happens, that's bad for some people. But for the consumer, it's pretty good. So I'm not saying it's bad for us necessarily. I'm saying that things change. And in order for things to change, you have to change with it. You have to adapt if you want to still experience it. So for those that truly enjoy a movie theater experience, I'm asking you to go see more movies. I'm asking you to give more things a chance. And I'm also asking you to spend some money if you want to. This is not a PSA to go save theaters, to go make AMC your go-to date night thing. All I'm saying is, for the movies that you want to see, you have to have more of an open mind now, because they're not all guaranteed. And really they were never guaranteed, but you knew going into a movie experience, you initially bringing that investment, you were like, I did this and I'm okay with my decision. And if it flopped, I'll find the good in it. Nowadays, that's not the same. So that's pretty much what me and Candacie have been debating over. She may have a totally different opinion on what movies need to do, movie theaters need to do in order to increase their revenue and also bring more people back to the theater. But if you want to hear her opinion, you can always leave a comment. You can also still, like I said, like and subscribe. And we check comments. We see what you would like to hear. And if you want her opinion, I'll let her know. See if she wants to do a podcast episode about it. But we're still going to be bringing more and more movie reviews. I think with our situation, and with the love of movies that we have, we're still going to go see movies as much as possible. And then we're just going to bring it back to you. So if you enjoyed this podcast episode, let me know. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe on YouTube. Also follow us on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. And with that being said, guys, we love you guys. We'll see you later.